And don't worry, I'll be sticking around to the end too. I wouldn't miss the training session.
Okay, so I'm going to have you guys continue to follow me this way. So I'm just going to stop you guys right here for the time being. So right now our trainers are in session with our boys who currently have access to that big pool up front and this pool right here in front of us. Now our session is going to focus on our girls who currently have access to the smaller pool and that pool further over across from us. So we're going to head that way when they start going for session. Just want to kind of keep you guys over here for just a moment. So is this anyone's first time at the aquarium at all? Oh wow, a lot of people today. You too? Well, welcome guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and anyone who has been here before, welcome back. My name is Dana. I am one of the trainers here at Dolphin Discovery. So just to introduce you to our dolphin family first. So our boys up front, we have Bo and Foster. Bo is going to be on the left-hand side, and then Foster is going to be on that right-hand side. So Bo is 16 years old. He is our oldest male, and he's also the largest animal here at the aquarium and our largest dolphin. He is about teetering on 460 pounds. Right now he's about 405-ish. And then Foster is 14 years old, so he is the youngest male. And he's about 100 pounds lighter than Bo. He's about 355 pounds. So they are a little bit different. Now, for our girls, when we get over to that side, we have 4 girls. So we have Chesapeake, Bailey, Spirit, and Jade. And it looks like since they are wrapping up, I'm going to lead you guys now over to our girls' side. To go on this way. Feel free to take a seat on those. So before our session begins, just a few things to mention, just general area. If you could just stay kind of where you are right now. We just want to make sure our trainers and our dolphins have enough room to move around throughout the session. And also feel free to take pictures and videos throughout the entire process. Feel free to ignore me if you want. It's completely fine, I understand. So when our girls do come up, all of our girls have assigned seats when they come up to station. So any trainer can work with any dolphin whatsoever. So our dolphins know which trainer they're working with at that particular time based on who shows up at their assigned seat. So when they come up left to right, we're going to have Bailey, Chesapeake, Jade, and then Spirit. So to introduce you to our girls, in a moment, our trainers are getting getting their buckets ready. Bailey is our youngest. She's our youngest dolphin in general. She's 13 years old. Then we have Chesapeake. Chesapeake is Bailey's mom. So it's Chesapeake, and then Bailey is B-A-Y-L-E-Y, like our Chesapeake Bay outside. Chesapeake is our oldest dolphin. She is 29 years old. She'll be 30 years old next month, actually. Then we have Bailey, third. She is our second oldest. She is 22 years old. And then on the very end, we're going to have Spirit, and Spirit's about 20 years old. Now, Spirit is the sister of our largest male, Bo. So she is also our largest female. And then Jade is the mother to our second male dolphin, Foster. Now to tell them apart, I'm sure, popping up down here, when you're looking at them, I'm sure right now, big gray dolphins, right? All look very, very similar. So when they come up a little bit closer, actually you can tell the differences between them. Not only through their body sizes and different physical characteristics, but definitely through what we like to call their dolphinalities or their personalities. So just like we're all very, very different, same for them. So, yeah, all good. So Bailey, outside of being the smallest, on the tips of her fluke or her tail, she has kind of these white little tips on the ends. If you see her fluke at any point, I'll try to point it out. So it's easy to tell her apart there. Dolphinality-wise, she is very high energy, very vocal, very squeaky. I call her my squeaky little lady, so you will definitely probably hear her throughout the session. Then Chesapeake, looking at her, she's a little bit darker coloration, marbly, a little more marble looking in her gray on her back. Also, anybody a fan of Harry Potter books, movies, anything? Perfect, guys. Now, Chesapeake, we call her, on her melon or her forehead, she has kind of a lightning bolt body markings, kind of like a scar up there on her melon. So when you see those lines, you know it's her. Then for Jade, she has what we like to call a hook jaw or an underbite. So that bottom part of her rostrum actually hooks out a little bit further, kind of makes this J shape underneath. So easy to tell her, and Foster actually has the same thing because that's her son. And then for Spear, she is our largest female, and then also on her melon, she has these three little lines. I don't know if anyone's a fan of the Jurassic Park movies. I am. So that intro kind of reminds me of those three lines. But also we call them the cat scratches. Don't worry, she wasn't actually scratched by a cat, but it kind of looks like it. So you can see our trainers now. So of course, yes, they are kept separate. So right now our boys do have that big pool up front and this pool here. Our girls do pool at a smaller one. We changed that access throughout the day for them. So we always like to make sure we're starting our sessions at the same time. Coming up again from left to right. Again, here our smallest we have Bailey. And then next to her, they're kind of out of order right now, but we have Spirit. It's a little bit larger, and then she has little fat scratches on her melon. Then we have Chesapeake here, who is third, and then we have Jade. So right now what you're seeing some of our trainers here do is our gates. So those gates actually change the access to our things throughout the day. So right now what our Chesapeake trainer is working on is what we call a medical lacrosse, kind of a practice. So that is a medical tool that we can use for different kind of procedures when it is necessary. So we like to make sure that they're always comfortable going in for any reason. So right now she's just practicing with Chesapeake to go in and kind of just be calm and be comfortable in that environment. And then she just put it right back out. Wow, nicely done. And our trainer is working on the same kind of practice with Jade. Now you'll notice the gate where it was positioned is very different for both of them. So Chesapeake was in the water, Jade is on this bridge area right now. So all of them are at different points at different levels. So we always just work with them where they're at. Now working on regular behaviors right now, we have Bailey and Spirit. Our Dolphin Jade here, that was her going into that pool. You see, she seemed a little bit more like, I don't really want to go in at this point in time. So our trainer able to adjust it where that gate was. So instead of having on the bridge, she kind of moved it a little bit further away, just to see if she was more comfortable going in with that. Instead, she definitely was. So that's definitely a successful practice for her at that point. Thank you, guys. So now again, right here in front of you is Jade, who just finished her practice. Waving hello to you guys. Sorry for that.
It's all good.
Now, April and Jade are doing what we like to call mimicry. That's a great way for dolphins to learn. So they can mimic our techniques. Right now,
oh my God.
Just like at the beginning, she mimicked that hand way, so she used her pecs to wave. So it's a great way for them to learn new behaviors, not only from us, but they'll also use mimicry with each other. So maybe Bailey is seeing Jade, she waves, and then she sees, oh, she got her hands, and then she goes like that. Now that was so those are what we know about, and those are that we report
Sorry.
Great job waiting there for her to come back. We also see some very
Hard to get them all.
I know.
Now, do you guys know the Dolphins do all of those ways from? No? So, can you take a guess where you think it's coming from?
Oh.
Perfect. That blowhole on the top of their head. So, they have their mouth open. It definitely will look like, hey, they're making those noises out of their mouth. But actually, it's all coming from that blowhole on the top of their head. So, they can make many, many different noises. Over there as well. So they have lots of air filled little sacs in their blowhole, and they can add air or take air away at will. So they can make many, many different types of noises. Across the way, making those noises as well. So it's very squeaky as well. Like she was making it from her mouth, right? But all coming out of the blowhole. And now she's also getting recognized. Look at those teeth she has there. Can you guys guess how many teeth Dolphins have?
500.
How many?
500?
500. Little less. Yeah. They have about 80 to 100 teeth actually. And they're all cone shaped. You see Jay's teeth as well. Now those teeth are actually just used to grip different things. They actually don't chew their fish at all. So all their fish, they swallow whole, swallow right down their throat. They actually don't have a gag reflex like we do. So it's to help them swallow all that fish whole and hold on to their pretty fish as well. Very, very nice. I don't know if I can hold food in my mouth or not either. Now one thing we also like to work on with our dolphins, outside of those behaviors for medical care and also behaviors for exercise, related to building a positive relationship with them. And one great way for us to do that is interacting with toys with them. So you just saw our trainer here taking out that soccer ball. So it's just a toy, and our toys we use for many, many different reasons, which is called enrichment. So this is for them. So out in the ocean, it's seen that dolphins will play. They'll play not only with each other, but they'll play with different things in the ocean, kelp, sea sponges, things like that. So our toys we will use to mimic different stuff you can see out there. And it's also a great way to build positive relationships with tactile, being tactile or touching and rubs and things like that with them as well.
When the Dolphins do those things in the middle, is that random or is like someone telling them to do that? When the Dolphins do those jumps with the twist in the middle, is that random or are they just someone telling them to do that?
Gotcha. Perfect. Thank you.
No.
Question.
Oh, good.
So all of our dolphins are asked for different behaviors with a hand signal. So our trainer did ask them for behavior beforehand. So they know many, many different behaviors, about 50 or more.
Oh, wow.
So unfortunately for us, as much as we love to speak dolphin, we cannot. So those hand signals are ways for us to let them know what we're asking for. And then the minute they do that behavior correctly, you'll see, or you've already heard, our trainer blow whistles. Or we can point or kind of tap on their body or the water. All of those are what we call bridges, and that lets our dolphin know at that time that's exactly what I wanted. Come back and get that reinforcement, which of course is that fish in their bucket. So everything they're doing right now, they're being asked for behavior now. Those vocalizations and things that they've done on their own, definitely completely up to them. Some are on cue with a hand signal, but some are just what they want to do at that time.
I've seen them flip forward. Can they flip backwards too? Can they flip backwards too or just forward?
Yeah.
Really?
They can do, I think, a few of them, not every single one.
Yeah. Wow.
Now, all of them do know different behaviors as well. There are some that they all know, and then there are some that only certain ones know as well.
Okay.
So it looks like what our trainer, Hannah, just asked was for what we call an innovate. So that behavior is actually very, very cool to see. So it looks like this over the head. Now what that means to the dolphin is you can do whatever you want, absolutely anything. It just has to be different from the first thing that they've done.
Wow.
So if I do this and they wave, if I do this again, they have to do something completely different.
Wow.
So you kind of see their personalities and what they kind of like to do with this high energy. If they're kind of like, okay, I'm turning here. So that's a very, very fun behavior to get as well. And it also serves as a form of enrichment for them as well. They have to learn and think, okay, what did I already do?
Wow.
What did I do? So that was what she just did. She decided, hey, let me go do a kind of weird jump here. So you hear our trainers will always communicate throughout session as well to see kind of where you're at fish-wise. We all like to make sure we stop session at the same time as well to keep everything fair. That was Jade here in front of you waving that nice pectoral fin. So that pectoral fin they use to steer in the water, so kind of move around wherever they want to go. So now they're all communicating, okay, we're all good, kind of all low on fish, our buckets are done. So we like to, again, make sure we're ending session at the same time, so there's no confusion for the dolphins. Am I still going? Am I not? Yes, no. Now you'll see our trainers also throwing ice out for our dolphins as well. So every session we give our dolphins their fish, of course. They eat all about 10 to 15 pounds of fish. They're all a little bit different based on their body size. But we also give them ice cubes and unflavored gelatin as well.
Oh, wow.
So the same kind of jello we use, there's no flavor to it. Sorry. Now, what that ice and gelatin is for, not only for enrichment, this is something we can use as well during interactive playtime with them. Just kind of toss ice out. It's a great way to get them to practice or to use their natural behavior, echolocation. So of course, ice going in water, invisible, right? For us, definitely for them too. So it's a great way for them to use that echolocation to find where are those ice cubes, what can I eat. Also a great way to give them water throughout the day as well. So dolphins actually don't drink salt water. You would think because they swim in it all day, right? But absolutely not. They actually drink fresh water just like we do. So typically out in the ocean and them as well, they get their water through the fish that they eat. Their bodies automatically will filter out fresh water. However, our fish, lose a little bit of that water content because they're frozen first. So in order to kind of make up for that as well, we do give them ice and gelatin, and we also do physically give them water. One of our trainers did have one, I didn't see when she did it, but it's kind of like a syringe, just a big old syringe. We'll put water in and it just kind of acts like a straw so we can get that water down. Again, they don't have a gag reflex, so it doesn't bother them, it just goes right on down. And I meant to mention earlier with their sounds, but dolphins actually don't have vocal cords either, so that's why they're not making noises from their mouth. It's all coming from that blowhole.
Do they get other food throughout the day or just during training sessions?
So they get it just during the training sessions, but we have training sessions, I would say no more than like an hour apart, typically, so it's usually pretty back to back when they're getting fed. We go through 6 sessions a day. We'll start around like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and then we'll end around 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening.
And how much fish does a dolphin eat in a day?
So they all get between 10 to 15 pounds, depending on each dolphin. They're all a little bit different on what's an ideal weight for them.
How much do they weigh?
All of them are a little bit different. Bailey is our smallest, so she's about 300. Between like 299 and 300 is a sweet spot for her. Jade is about 420. Spirit is about 425, and Chesapeake, I would say, is a little over 300. I think she's about maybe like 320, 330. And then Bo and Foster are different too. Bo is 400, about almost 460 pounds, about 455.
Wow.
And then Foster is about 350. Yeah, so they're all just very different with what the ideal weight is for them. And you can definitely see the difference between each one. Like if they get over a certain weight, they're kind of like, okay. Or if they're like, oh, I want to eat some more. So they're all very, very different with that. But in general, between 10 to 15 pounds. Let's see. Do you guys have any questions at all?
So do they sleep?
They do. So dolphins actually, they do sleep. They sleep the same amount of time we do, about what we should, 8 hours a day. They'll usually take it in 4-hour increments. 4 hours. So how they sleep is they actually sleep 1/2 of their brain at a time. I wish I could do that. I would get so much done. But they'll pick whichever side. So say they'll sleep their left side, so you'll see like their left eye closed, but their right eye you'll still see open. So that's how you know they're sleeping that one half of their brain, and then they'll switch and do the other. So they'll kind of take like 2-hour cat naps here and there. They can break it up however they want really, but in total they'll get 8 hours, and it can be throughout the day, throughout the night. It can range for them. But I just feel like I would get so much done. But they definitely keep it one side awake to maintain out in the ocean, of course, to kind of look out for predators and food, but also to maintain breathing. So dolphins actually, of course, don't breathe underwater at all. They don't have gills. So they just are very like beyond Olympic level breath holders, honestly. So they have to consciously think about breathing. We don't think about it, right? Our bodies just do it for us. But they have to think about it, so they keep that half of their brain awake to make sure it's like, okay, come up, you need air, and then they can go back down and keep on swimming. And they can typically hold their breath, I would say, up to about between like 8 and 10 minutes at a stretch before they have to come up for air.
How long are they comfortable being out of the water, like their heads? It depends?
They can.
A few minutes?
The only kind of, or the biggest criteria if they're out of water is to make sure you're keeping them wet. So if they are out of water for any reason, kind of just want to make sure you're spraying them down with water. Reason for that is because of that blubber on their body. So they can overheat. So you want to make sure that you're keeping them just wet throughout the process. But they could stay out of the water for a while, honestly.
Oh, wow.
It's just making sure you maintain their skin being wet so that they don't overheat. Yeah. Any other questions?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.